Hey guys, it's Aurora with Lavender, Hazelwood, Witches welcome. So we're going to be talking about energy today. And there's been a couple other energy videos, but I got a comment from Rachel saying she liked the topic and wanted to hear more on it. So I got a new angle to look at. Also, having said that, I just want to alert you to the kit link in my Moodle in my description, in the description box below. I have a kit link which has all of my equipment plus stuff I've mentioned in videos if you want to purchase in their affiliate links, so I get a small teeny tiny percentage of whatever you purchase through the kit link. And included in that is the tea that I'm drinking today, which is Golden Moon Vanilla Jasmine tea. It is so good. They're a small company and I want them to live forever, so this is not sponsored. I just want them to exist for a very, very long time. Selfishly. We'll see if Morley will let me get through this video. What's up, bud? Okay, so I guess what I want to talk about is energy in the environment. When I look back, one of the first times that I really felt energy in a room was, I used to do pet sitting, and I used to visit this house that had a cat in it, and I would sit for like 20 minutes. It wasn't that long of a visit, but every time I went there, I would get super duper tired. I would just feel like I want to fall asleep. And I noticed this pattern and I was like, what is that? And I realized one time I felt like I was walking into a place that was just thick. The air in it was thick. It was like I was walking into the middle of a pillow or something. And I remember one time wondering, what was it? What was that? I usually just visited in the kitchen, but I went poking around and sort of like looked into the rest of their house, and I noticed they had a lot of antique furniture. And items that have been owned by other people have a lot of energy in them. I'm sure that's what it was. It was sort of the culmination of the energy from all of those pieces of antique furniture. And I can totally attest to this because, you know, a couple years ago I walked into my friend's house and it was the first time I had been there, and I was struck by the energy on the wall. She had a dining room with several antique pieces in it, and there was some really intense, dramatic energy going up the back wall of the dining room, and I was like, holy smokes. I was like, she doesn't see this. Like, she doesn't feel this clearly. And I never mentioned anything to her because I didn't want to freak her out. And I guess, you know, the question is like, how do you see those things? Good question. I think you just have to have a general sense of what is normal, you know, for you, and what is normal in general, like what feels pretty neutral. And then start looking for the things that kind of smack you in the face. Like, whoa, that has interesting energy, you know, and it could be simply, I don't know, the colors coming off somebody's clothing, or, you know, for me, the intensity of a flower when it's in full bloom, the color, really smacks me in the face. So start looking for things that really have a strong impact on you and just notice what it feels like. I think that's the sort of clearest way that I can sort of talk about learning to read or tune into energy easier or more. I both love thrift stores because I love the recycle or reusing sensibility about things, but also thrift stores freak me out because there is so much energy on stuff. And that's a good way sort of to look at it, is the experience you have, the feeling sense you have when you go into a thrift store versus one that you go when you go into a store with manufactured goods that have just come off the plant, you know, like any other store where you're buying new clothes or new items. That's a very concrete example of the feeling sense between the two. So when you go into a thrift store, you're feeling all of the bunches of energy that are coming from different households and different people all accumulating in one place. I'm trying to think, you know, and with clothes, that's super clear too. So I'm very particular about the clothes that I put on my body if they've been on somebody else, because usually at first I get weirded out and I have to sort of like adjust myself and get used to that energy next to me before I will even try it on. I went to a clothing exchange, and I love clothing exchanges, by the way. I think they're really great for getting used clothes, and honestly, I'd prefer doing that than going shopping, because I don't really go shopping. But like this, for instance, used. This, for instance, used. I remember picking up a pair of pants that somebody had brought in, and I was like, they're cute, I like them, but they didn't feel right. They just felt icky. And not that they didn't fit right, it was the feeling that was coming off of them. It just didn't vibe right with me. So those are the kinds of things that you're looking for when you're going and starting to sort of read energy. The other really great place to kind of look for energy out in nature is if you go into like the woods, you'll find different pockets of like just different pockets. You'll find different pockets. Over here, there might be like a rock and a tree, and that gives you a certain impression. And over here, you see a cluster of shorter trees, and there's like 6 of them, and they give you a different impression. You're going to be more drawn to one or the other. You're going to be like, oh, that feels really good. I'm more drawn to this cluster of trees over here. And that rock you might look at and be like, I'm not so sure. Like, I'm not drawn to it. Or something feels a little off. Or, I don't know, I'm getting a little tingly in my belly when I look over there, and that makes me feel nervous. Starting to tune into how you feel, both via emotionally and sensing. If you're working with your intuition, or if you are somebody who sees things, those are other avenues of ways to pick up on energy that's in a place. When I'm out in nature, I kind of like to think of these different pockets as like different rooms. And there are never any specific boundaries or delineations between one room and the next outside. It's sort of the boundaries blend into each other. They just kind of blend and morph. They get sort of muddled. It's very rare that you're going to find an energetic boundary that is hard. They usually just kind of morph and change and move into another one. So that's like the energy sort of accumulating, or like combining, I guess is a better word, not accumulating. But those are some lenses you can kind of start using, because they're things we do all the time. It's just putting a focus on that, using that as our lens when we go out and see the world, instead of sort of the mundane way of looking at the world. So I think that's what I got for you today. Let me know if any of that makes sense, or if you have questions about anything that I've said. And if you do, I will try and go in deeper into some aspect of it if I can. Check out the other videos if you want more talk on reading energy, and also tea. This tea is so good. Vanilla jasmine. Go get it. Yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.